Well, this isn't sus at all. The woman who came forward to expose Jeffrey Epstein and also Prince Andrew has found herself in a near-fatal bus accident that has left her with apparently days left to live. Now, this is absolutely immense, and what has gone on around the world, essentially, is it's caused some serious speculation about whether this was genuinely a true accident or if this was an intentional attack. We're going to dive into the details today based off of the information that we've got, and basically see what we can make of it for ourselves. So, long story short, Virginia Giuffre, who is a prominent Jeffrey Epstein accuser and who alleged Prince Andrew abused her, is in a serious condition in hospital after a school bus hit her and she was driving in rural Australia. Her spokesperson told CNN on Tuesday after the police appeared to contradict her initial account. So, the Instagram post on Sunday, Giuffre shared a photo of herself lying in a hospital bed with her face covered in bruises. "I've got into kidney renal failure and they've given me 4 days left to live," she wrote. But authorities later indicated to CNN that no injuries had actually been reported following the crash. And Giuffre's family said that in a statement through their representation on Tuesday, Virginia thought that she had posted the message on her private Facebook page. So, of course, this is leaving some very serious questions about, well, what condition is she actually in? And how bad is the condition and what is actually going on? Now, she was one of the most prominent accusers of the wealthy sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in 2019, and she publicly alleged that Epstein trafficked her and forced her to have sex with his friends, including Prince Andrew, when she was only 17. She also claimed the prince was aware that she was underage in the US at the time, and the Duke of York repeatedly denied these claims in the now infamous interview where he claimed that he was actually at Pizza Express and he could not sweat. We all know about it. Giuffre said in her initial Instagram post that the school bus was driving 110 kilometers an hour or 68 miles per hour and hit her car as it was slowing for a turn. Western Australia police referred CNN to a report of, quote, minor collision between a car and a bus on Perth in March 24th, stating the car sustained approximately $2,000 worth of damage, but there were no reported injuries as a result of this crash. A source with knowledge of the situation told CNN Tuesday that Giuffre was in a current inpatient at the hospital in Perth, but was not in life-threatening condition. Giuffre does have the bruising shown to be on the social media picture, according to the source, but not at this stage told the hospital what caused those injuries. Giuffre's spokesperson, after being contacted by CNN for further comments, said in a statement attributed to Giuffre's family that, quote, she remains in serious condition while receiving medical care. So as you can imagine, there are some very, conflicting statements. The police coming out stating that there were no major incidents, but then Giuffre posted a picture with her looking like this, claiming that it was because of a bus hitting her at 110 kilometers per hour, but the police report once again claiming that it was only a minor incident and a minor crash. So what is really going on here? Well, when we take a look into another article that's come out more recently, some more interesting facts come to light, including the fact that Virginia faces court as she recovers from a quote-unquote bus crash. So she lives obviously in Australia, and she's been charged with breaching a family violence restraining order in Ocean Reef near Perth on February 2nd in Western Australia, and that's what the courts have stated. So the woman who had settled her SA lawsuit against the Duke of York is facing over allegedly breaching a restraining order as she recovers in hospital after a, quote, serious bus crash. Now, of course, this is very interesting considering, the timeline of events. It looks suspicious, as if, there might have been some involvement. Now, that's not out of the realms of possibility, because when you think about what happened to Princess Diana, there's still a lot of conspiracy based there, with people still thinking that maybe the royal family had something to do with her injuries and her death as a result of a car accident that happened in France. Obviously, this whole thing's gone awfully quiet, so for this to suddenly happen, of course, is going to start pointing fingers towards the royal family, but it begs the question of the timeline of events. Why now would this possibly happen after everything's gone on. Of course, the Epstein files were released last year, towards the start of last year, with the flight logs and stuff coming out. You would have think that something like this would happen around that time, not now. But she obviously, like I say, lives in Australia, and she's been charged with breaching her restraining order in Ocean Reef. Now, the first case was first heard in Joondalup Magistrates Court in Northern Perth on March 14th, where she did not enter a plea. And the court said, and the case is back in court on April 9th. Now, she claims that she was injured in a collision last month that sparked concern earlier this week, as she claimed in an Instagram post that she had 4 days left to live, alongside a photo of her in hospital. And according to reports, a spokesperson for Ms. Gouffre said the Instagram post was a mistake and she meant to share it to her private Facebook page. Now, obviously, this is really odd, because if the claims are fake and false, then why is she posting it to a private group, and why is it that that's now being redacted for a public post? You know, is there some kind of sympathy game going on here? It's really hard to know what's going on here. Who's in the right, who's in the wrong, who's where with this. And it's starting to beg more questions than there are actual answers with regards to this. So, it's interesting. But moving forwards, there's been some more statements that have come out where Virginia thanks everyone for outpouring of the love and support. She is overwhelmed with gratitude. Today, she remains in a serious condition whilst receiving medical care, and on March 24th in rural Western Australia, a school bus hit her, which was she was riding. Virginia was banged up and bruised and returned home. Virginia's condition was worsened, and then she was admitted back into the hospital. Concerning her Instagram post, Virginia thought that she had posted to a private Facebook page. Now, Miss Gouffre is reported to have separated from her husband, and in the caption to Instagram post, Miss Gouffre said that she was ready to go, just not until I see my babies one last time. What do you guys make of this? Is this an accident, or is this intentional? Let me know what you guys have to say about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new. Like I say, I can't really make head nor tail of this. I don't know what to believe. I don't know whether this is truth, whether this is fiction, whether this is fact or fake. And I don't know who's to blame. But maybe you guys can help me piece it all together. Just drop it down in the comments. And until next time, guys, I'll speak to you later. Peace.